Please stand for pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Looks like we have a pretty fast agenda tonight, so why don't we get going here? Constable report?
Don't really have a report, but felt we should probably have some follow-up on our last meeting.
Thank you.
So I did have them down. I did take some pictures today. It's just one packet, so you have to look through it. It's a lot better than it was, but there's still 2 vehicles that would be in violation of the ordinance, and then a couple things on a trailer.
Did you write any kind of orders on it as far as the vehicles go? Or,
That would be under the junk ordinance that he was cited for.
okay. And he's not available to be able to take care of any of this, is he? All right.
Were you close enough to hear any dogs barking?
I did stop right up front. I did not hear any dogs barking.
I did talk to a judge, to Lance Fleming.
Mhm.
I did talk to Lance Fleming and he said he would handle it personally. So, hopefully that will keep going forward. I'll touch base with him though, I think, because I'm sure he's got a lot on his plate.
So at this point, do we wanna just kinda wait and see?
Well, there's really nothing we can do with the gentleman being incarcerated for time being. I don't know what else we could do. Anybody?
Lance also called me to get more information about what I had, and he said the same, that he would be looking into it.
Okay. So I guess at this point, we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Okay.
I do have to tell you though that I don't know what you did on County Trunk Z to that house that was, the gentleman had a lot of stuff
Mhm.
outside. It's really being cleaned up really nicely.
Yeah, it's not perfect by any means, but
It's getting
it's
there.
getting there.
Yeah, I see the dumpster is gone.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
every,
there's still a handful of things. but
right,
He got a hold of me earlier this summer. He had bought it from the previous owner who let it get in that condition.
oh,
And this gentleman himself is, I think he said in his 80s, early 80s.
oh,
And he did it all by himself, cleaned it up. And once he got it to this state, we played some phone tag. I basically said, if you just keep working on it little by little, I'm good with that, so.
oh, yeah, it
Much
does
better.
look considerably better.
Yep.
Every time I go by there, I see progress.
The one south of Ranger.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks really nice. Anybody else have any questions? Okay. All right, Josh isn't here.
Oh, he is excused.
Yes,
Building inspector.
building inspector.
Oh, that Josh.
Bulls.
He was here earlier.
Was he? Okay. I guess there's nothing going on that I know of. Rose, she's only mandated to attend one meeting, so apparently it's not this one. Road crew, we'll start with Caston.
Trimming the ditches, potholes. Planning on hauling some scrap in tomorrow. Bunch of extra blades laying around it.
I see the tree's gone.
Yeah, that tree's gone.
But there's something in the fence.
Yeah, I mean, we could get that.
That's interesting.
It'll take-
No, leave it there. No,
Get a belt sander and take care of
no,
it.
no, it's fine there. It's quite
We could draw a picture.
quite an
on it or
interesting
something.
detail, yeah,
Yeah.
draw a face on it or something. I guess I shouldn't say that, somebody's gonna do that. Just to let everybody know, we had a meeting here the other day, for fire, and Caston was invited in to give us some details of what he would need to help us make our town more fire safe, and, he was extremely helpful and informative, so I wanted to bring that forward. And then, Doug, do you have anything?
Ranger Road is complete. Also, we I know it's on the agenda yet, but Paulette and I have applied for Blue Ridge for the trip program. Also sent in for reimbursement for Range Line. I do know Range Line did come way under budget, so hopefully, that works well for us.
Yeah, that was appreciated. That was good.
Where's the start and stop on Blue Ridge? Is that from, start and stop on Blue Ridge, Highway 13, does that stop at Range Line, or did that go all the way to?
No, stops at Range Line. And if you look at the other part, I think when we do our road inventory, we may seal coat or crack leveling and seal coat them up.
I know that section needs some work too.
Yeah, but
We've done some patching.
it's not near as bad as the first part
No.
there. But it is from 13 to Range Line.
Thank you. Moving on to Plan Commission, Josh McDonald is excused. Dan, would you mind giving us a little report of what's going on the Plan Commission?
But we work on the mobile home ordinance was pretty much gone through pretty much word by word. And, there's a couple of questions and that's what we'll be working on now.
We're moving forward with our camping ordinance and driveway and what other? Land division.
Land division.
Yeah. So we're moving forward on those. Making progress every meeting. Pretty good progress.
Should be, first of the year, things should be pretty much wrapped up as far as our end of it'll go.
Yeah, yeah. We have tonight, actually, the mobile home ordinance for adoption tonight. All right, anybody have any questions on that? Okay, moving forward, clerk.
Just busy working on the budget, and then, like Doug said, we worked on submitting the trip project for Range Line and Blue Ridge, so.
That's appreciated. I know Paulette's been putting in a lot of hours, and they're very appreciated.
Thank you.
Doug, with putting in that application now, what's the likelihood of us seeing that money in this year?
Say that again.
With putting in that application now in October, what's the likelihood of seeing the reimbursement on that this year yet? Or will that be coming next year?
No, we'll get the reimbursement on Range Line this year. And then if we do get accepted for Blue Ridge, I think you got
I think we did
I'm not,
2025.
I think it's a 7-year sunset on that, so you got 7 years.
It's either 7 or 5 years, something like
Yeah,
that.
I thought it was one or the other, and I just threw 7 out there, but we'll have it done before that anyway.
Okay.
Anything else, Chief? Okay. Billy Joe.
The application, everything is all done at, Nakusa Port Edward State Bank. They're very helpful. And I'm appreciative of that with them. And that is for our ambulance and fire loan. So that is ready. We don't pull that out until December though. And then, I did talk to the county and found out that some numbers from the state are coming in later in November, so our tax bills won't be printed till the week of December 4th.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm. So they could be
Okay.
going out later than they normally do, possibly. I'm gonna do my best to get them done, just like I always did, but
Well, if you need help stuffing, let me know.
I will, thank you. I'll take you up on that, but
All right.
there always is that possibility, it could be a few more days later then.
Do you get a lot of people coming in asking where their tax dollars go or complaining about the amount or anything?
I can't say never, but very, very seldom. If anything, I hear a lot of compliments on the Saratoga local tax.
Well, I'm just wondering if it would help if we had a poster, once we get those figures, if we could put up a poster with a breakdown of what actually stays local, goes to county, goes to state.
That's on the tax bill though.
It is on a tax bill, but people don't know what they're looking at. I've heard a lot of people complain and they say, oh, well, my entire taxes go to the town of Saratoga.
We could do a percentage.
Well, right, a percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And
Put it out here. when
Yeah,
you're waiting in
absolutely.
line
I
to pay
mean,
their
the more
taxes.
information for them, the better. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. And that there is a lot of times a line out here, you know, as people are waiting, there's just one
Right.
person taking taxes. So, you know, they might utilize that and be able to
I can
Focus
get
and learn
something kind of preliminary together, and once we get the numbers, we can kind of finalize that,
That'd be cool.
get something made.
All right, moving on. Anybody else have any questions for Billy Joe? She's just a wealth of information. All right. Informational announcements by board members. Let's go first. Roger?
Well, we had the Firewise CWPP meeting the other day, and that was very productive with Amy Penn. And thank you, Caston, for attending with us and providing us some information. And more to come on that as Amy crunches some numbers and looks at potential grant opportunities, so. Otherwise, we got a quote on a lawnmower for the town that we can review coming up here on the agenda, and still some ongoing discussion on the landing to the south in Saratoga, and that's probably gonna get kicked back to the planning commission the way it's going, but more to come on that, so that's all I got.
All right. Jason?
Don't really have a whole lot, set up the new camera. Played around with it, made sure everything worked properly, so that's what we're using here tonight. That's really about it.
Thanks for taking care of that.
That looks good. On to Brian.
I have nothing for tonight. No.
All right.
One other thing I'd like to mention, I worked with Gaston and Tom Bauer on that tree out there, getting that knocked down, so I think it looks a lot better.
It looks very nice.
You guys did a good job.
You too.
That looks good. Just so everyone's aware, today Alliant came out here and replaced that power pole in a corner. So it's getting us a little closer to getting a sign out there. They're gonna be trenching the lines coming back towards the driveway for this sign. They had to replace the pole anyway, so I guess we got a freebie there. Nobody's gonna kick bad. Today I painted the sign out here, our, what do you call that? Informational, what do you call that?
Oh, that.
Posting board.
Poster board, yeah. So it kind of matches the new sign that'll be coming in.
Looks nice, you did a good job.
Yeah, thanks.
Gaston also.
Yeah, we had to do a little modification there.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, moving forward, let's see. I think that's about all the information we got for a while. The budget's gonna take up a lot of our evening, I think. Let's move on. Approval of the previous minutes. I hope everybody's had a chance to review them and taken your corrections to Paulette, if there were any.
Make a motion to accept the minutes for. We got two separate.
Do you want to
minutes
do them in two separate motions?
Okay.
Okay, we had a closed meeting, so we'll do that one first.
here?
So
Um,
entertain a motion for that.
That was the 5 PM meeting here,
Yes, it was.
4:30.
4:30.
12:30, that's
I'll
right.
make a motion to accept the closed session meeting minutes.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion by Roger and a second by Brian to approve the minutes for the October 4th, 4:30 closed meeting. All those in favor?
Right?
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. All right. Now let's go on to the board meeting minutes.
We'll do 5 o'clock then.
And make a motion to accept the meetings for the 5 o'clock meeting on October 4th. Discussing the budget.
Okay, I have a motion by Chase. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by Brian. All those in favor?
Right.
Those against? Motion passes. One more meeting.
there's one we gotta add. On the line with Josh McDonald, plan commission update, you gotta add an E behind the mobile home ordinance, please.
Alright. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the October 4th, 6 o'clock PM minutes as written with
Yeah.
corrections.
Alright, thank you. I have a motion by Roger. Do I have a
I'll
second?
second that.
And a second by Chase to accept the board meeting minutes of October 4th, 6 PM meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. All right. Meeting's out of the way. Trip application for Blue Ridge Road from Highway 13 to Range Line Road. Doug, do you want to speak on that, please?
Yeah, as I said earlier, we applied, for that portion of the road. As you know, Range Line was, a couple of years ago, applied for that. And in these applications, or the payback is around 25,000. I'm assuming this will be, is that what it was? Paulette, it was 23 or 24 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what that was.
So with that being said, that's one of the worst roads we have. It's pretty much out of shape and needs some attention, so. With these projects, they do have a committee that goes out and they'll check all these roads and ride down them, so. That's why you pick roads like that, so when they see it, they say, yeah, this is justified, so.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's good. That's great. Anybody have any questions? Okay. Moving on, review
You might
the,
have to
go ahead.
approve that.
Okay, let's approve the application. Wait,
Because that, when you.
because the minutes will reflect that and we
Have
gotta
to be
send the minutes
forwarded
in.
That it's been
Yeah.
approved by the board.
All right, I'll entertain a motion for that. It's an application.
I make a motion that we accept the trip application for Blue Ridge Road from Highway 13 to Range Line Road.
I have a motion by Roger,
I'll second that.
I have a second by Brian to approve the trip application for Blue Ridge Road from Highway 13 to Range Line Road. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes.
Now, if you have Paulette to get that, when we get paid for it.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching out for me, Doug.
All right, we are to review bids for the new Town of Saratoga sign. Unfortunately, we didn't get a single bid other than the original quote. So, and I did leave it on my desk.
Let me go get it.
I'll get it. I'll be right back. My desk is kind of disorderly, so thanks for the offer. Okay, so the quote that we have was from Graphic House. It is a quote of I want to say this is correct. $36,445. And we have a $15,000 match from Alliance that would be utilized towards this. In addition to the sign, we needed to hire an electrician to put electricity to the sign. And we have done that already. So this would be I take that back. It's not 36, it's 39,950. The 36 was for a lower quality message board. So I would entertain a motion on this sign, and we would be using ARPA funds if no one's in objection to that.
Now, we are getting reimbursed for
15,000,
15,000, right?
yes.
Okay, that payment's not going directly to them.
No,
Okay.
no, it will come to us.
I'll make a motion to accept the quote for 39,950 for the sign. To use from Graphics House. Using ARPA funds.
I'll second that.
Okay, is there any discussion? Any questions? All right. I have a motion by Chase, a second by Brian to accept the quote of 39,950 from Graphic House for our sign with the reader board, with Alliant paying $15,000 towards the sign. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Motion passed. That was a long time in coming, wasn't it, Dan?
Yeah, that goes way back to, I don't wanna say what.
Yeah, years. You guys started it.
Before your time even.
Probably.
Yeah.
Wally Scholl sat right here.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Well, then it's good. It'll be a nice addition to Saratoga.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna love seeing that out there.
I think so. I know we'll enjoy being able to put items out there that are of interest from the town. All right, approval of a resolution 2023-10 to borrow money from the Coosa Port Edward State Bank for the fire and ambulance loan. I believe we
Approved it.
did approve it at the last meeting, but now we need to sign the actual resolution. And you have it there.
Now we need to actually do a motion though and all that too, right?
We did actually,
You made a motion to borrow the money.
We need to
To-
make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Yeah.
okay,
So I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 2023-10.
I'll second the motion.
okay, I have a motion by Chase and a second by Roger to adopt resolution 2023-10. It's a resolution to borrow money from the Coosa Port Edward State Bank to pay the town of Saratoga fire protection, and it will be reimbursed through taxation. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Resolution passes. All right. Long and short-term disability. Billy Joe, first thing I gotta do is apologize. I just seen your text that you asked me if I wanted that gentleman to be here to,
Yeah, he left me a message if anyone had any questions, and I haven't heard any questions, so I thought, well, maybe he could come to the board meeting.
yeah, it probably would have been a good idea. I actually have read over the booklet, and I believe, Chase, did you call them and ask them?
I did not. I tried to at one point and got a
Okay.
whole bunch of automated systems and I did not get through and I haven't called back since.
Okay, it is of, Chase's belief, correct?
Well, Aflac is something that you can get as a private individual too. I'd like to see what the difference is in rates between what a private individual can get versus what we can get as a group. Because we're gonna have a hard time keeping just three policies.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if one guy decides they don't want it out of the three,
Mhm.
all of a sudden we don't. So either we're gonna have to offer and pay for it, like, whether it's term life or whatever, which I'm not necessarily against, but might, if they can get this on their own, I guess I'd like to see the difference.
Okay.
And at that point, maybe we even pursue, if there is a difference, maybe we pursue some reimbursement instead of administering.
Would you be interested in if I find out from Nakusa how they handle their Aflac?
The city?
'Cause
Not
that-
really, because they have a lot more employees.
Okay,
Yeah.
So it just doesn't apply.
okay.
Was there a comment made last meeting about jumping on with somebody else?
Well,
Was
I
that
did,
possible?
I don't know that got looked into.
Right?
Yeah, and
Or
we
another
asked
one.
about,
Health insurance to piggyback, and that wasn't an option.
mhm.
Okay. But the rates in here for our gentlemen that work for us look to be anywhere from 24 to 32, based on age, smoking, non-smoking, per month. And Aflac typically kicks in 1 year after having the policy. But in here, it doesn't specify how long it is before it kicks in. So you typically have to have a policy 1 year before you can actually use it. So I think that's something, number one, that we need to ask, and then pursue it from
I guess I'd like to know for sure that there's a benefit for them, for us to actually be offering it versus just
them getting it on their own.
them getting that on their own. And if there's not a significant benefit, maybe we can work out a reimbursement if they get it on their own or something. Because for us to administer it adds a lot of
Paperwork. and-
paperwork and headache and stuff like that when they can get it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can get those figures, what the comparison is, because
Okay.
I think we're gonna have a hard time keeping 3 policies open unless we pay for 3 policies.
And would it be wise to, get these answers and then I'll get them out to you and then possibly, ask him if he could attend our next board meeting? Or don't do that until you look at the answers?
I would like to look the answers first.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't you find out, because it may be beneficial for him to come, but if there's no difference or very little difference,
Okay.
it may not matter whether he comes.
And if
Um,
anyone thinks of any other questions, please let me know and I'll make sure I reach out to you.
Unless for some reason he feels that there's a firm benefit to the employee to have this administered through us.
Okay.
If he can explain why that's a much bigger benefit, then maybe we would consider it at that point. But if the prices are similar, I think it'd be more something to encourage them to pursue themselves.
You know, we have a Towns Association meeting Friday. This might be a good question for the Towns Association to see what they do, what other towns do to protect their employees.
Yeah, because we can't be the only one.
You know,
I wouldn't think there's a lot of small municipalities. I just can't believe it's so hard.
I'll be there.
I haven't decided yet.
Oh, okay, well,
I plan on it, but
I'll be there and I'll ask a question. I'm not sure we'll get an answer either, but, and it is in Pittsville, so it's local, so the towns around us might have an answer.
Wonderful. Thank
See
you.
how they handle it.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, moving on, let's go, number 10, discussion and possible adoption of the mobile home ordinance. So this actual ordinance, was on our books, and it's been in effect a lot of years. The problem with it, it's been in effect a lot of years. So it addresses things that aren't even, made nowadays, nor is it something that Saratoga would like. One of the things was camping trailers in a mobile home park, people staying overnight in a mobile home park. We just don't do that here. So what the Plan Commission has, done is separated the mobile home, manufactured home, because it was a mobile home, now it's a manufactured home. Separated it from campers. So they are entertaining a camping ordinance, and they updated the mobile home, manufactured home ordinance to be pertinent to today and the way that we live here. So after I made the changes as instructed by the plan commission. I took it back to the plan commission, they reviewed it a second time, and more changes were made. And after those changes were made, they wanted it to be presented to the board for approval, and that's what you are looking at right now. And I hope you've all had a chance to read it, and if you have questions, please ask. Otherwise, we should consider adopting this to replace our old existing one. The fees are not in here because the fees will be then put on our fee schedule. Because when we change fees, then it's only changing our fee schedule, not our actual ordinance. And I see ordinance is misspelled on the very first page. Have you guys had a chance to read it and look it over?
Did have one question.
Sure.
There's section 8, permit for location outside of mobile/manufactured home parks.
Yes,
Number 3 on there, if an existing mobile/manufactured home vacant for more than 1 year, the existing unit will need to be removed and the parcel will revert back to the zoning district requirements. So that's,
well, there are only 3 criteria that a mobile home or manufactured home can be brought into Saratoga on a private parcel of land.
Right.
And number 1, one of the criteria is that no new parcel is formed.
right,
So number 2 is they're replacing another manufactured home that's more than 10 years old and, or that's, for some reason, they want to replace it. I guess the
yeah,
age
it could be
doesn't matter.
fire.
Right.
Something, yeah.
Whatever.
Falls on it, whatever.
But they have to replace it with a manufactured home that's less than 10 years of age at the time of replacement. And the third one, if it's been vacant for more than a year, then it's done. You're no longer able to replace it.
Okay, so even if an owner moves out, that same owner, after, for some reason, 1.5 years wants to move back into that same unit,
Too bad, so sad.
they have to remove.
And this is actually verbiage out of our zoning ordinance. So it's just being transferred over into here, or vice versa, however you want to say it.
Okay.
What the intent of the town of Saratoga was, if I remember correctly, was to get mobile homes, manufactured homes off private parcels and into mobile home parks.
Right,
So, and this is still allowing the people who have mobile homes and want to continue to live in a mobile home the rest of their life, they still can do that. It's just that, should they leave it vacant, then it's no longer a viable option. And they can still rent them out. I mean, as long as they're rented and, continuously. So. It also addresses mobile home parks. The first part of it, you're gonna see addresses mostly what mobile home parks have to conform with.
is there,
And I did add a part in there for addressing mobile home.
I don't remember seeing anything, is there anything in there, referencing, permanent shelter being required for a mobile home park?
Yes, that is something that we are requiring going forward. It was not required before.
Excuse me, isn't it in the site plan?
It is in the site
I
plan.
think part of the site plan
Okay, so that's right,
specifications
okay,
is where it's at.
all right. Dan, was pretty much everybody in agreement there with the,
Oh, yeah,
on this?
yeah.
Okay, so everybody's on board with this?
Yeah, pretty much ended up there's a lot of stuff in that one that's in the old one, but it was a lot of verbiage that was taken out, and like Lorelei said, it referenced camping, facilities for camping, more of a, you know, the toilets and shower rooms and things that didn't pertain. Yeah, you know, clean it, was a real clean job is what it was.
Okay. Well, do you guys have any more questions?
Laura, I just got one question.
Yes, sir.
In regards to the camper thing, that's gonna be coming in a different ordinance then?
Yes,
As far as like people who we've had, you know, staying in a camper on a property for X amount of days, that'll be in the
Yes.
camper ordinance.
yes.
Very good.
The one thing our camping ordinance fails to address at this point in time is campers on lots where there's already a house. So we are not addressing that at this point in time. Is that correct, Ben? We are addressing camping on lots that people own that don't have a dwelling on them. Or that, yeah,
Yeah, probably what you're looking at is, grandma and grandpa come in, the parents of somebody, they winter in Florida, so then they come back and they have a camper here in the backyard of their kid's house. So they spend 3 or 4 months in the backyard.
Yeah, that or someone's looking
That's-
for a house to buy and they're
Yeah.
staying in this camper for multiple months.
yeah, we're not addressing.
We're not doing that anymore.
I mean, we're allowing it and at this stage of the camping ordinance, it's not being addressed.
Okay.
We're not in the end of it, maybe that's something,
So I
That-
do handle a couple of them a year, I would say.
right, I agree.
Okay.
And truthfully, I was one, I lived in a camper for 4 months while we built our house.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I know it's gonna come up, but,
Sure. That's what I was curious about. Thank you.
yeah, sure.
All right, I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 10/18/23. Mobile home / manufactured home ordinance.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Chase and a second by Roger to adopt the mobile home manufactured home ordinance.
I just have one little bit of discussion.
Yes, sir.
You said you added something about, like address tiling.
Yes,
Where
So,
where is that
it's-
located? I was trying to find it.
within the park, it's not through us at all. So when a
So
park,
that's the park's
it's
responsibility.
the park's total
That's what
responsibility.
I wanted to know. Okay.
Yeah. Let me tell you where I can find it. I even put the size. They had to be, because I had Billy Joe help me with the language. Was it? I do want to find it because it is kind of important. Why is it you can never find something when you're looking for it?
All mobile homes manufactured shall be clearly numbered, lettered, and
Thank
able
you.
to. Letters and numbers shall be on the unit closest to the driveway in contrasting colors to the building, at least 5 inches in height, which are able to be seen at night. So that'd be section F, number 7.
Yes, thank you, Jim. Is that
Okay.
okay?
Yep.
All right. So again, I have a motion by Chase and a second by Roger to adopt mobile home ordinance, mobile home manufactured home ordinance 10/18/23. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Okay, purchase of lawnmower for the town hall. So on our wish list, for our budget of next year, we have a lawnmower. Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna have to be excused, Lorelei. You got any questions? or-
Hey.
Okay. All right. All right, anyway, one of the, submissions was from Roger, it was for a Toro. Can you just give us kind of overall what you did here?
Yeah, Sioux Rapids rental, it's a Toro 50-inch, zero turn mower with a Toro engine on it. The warranty is stated on that bid. And it's got a MyRide, suspension on it. It's a better mower with a better warranty. And it'll replace the town mower that's just about ready to give up its duty. So this quote, Paul, and I don't know if you caught that email that come through today, but, you know, they did.
That's, I believe, what
Okay.
they have right there.
All right, so that's a quote delivered to the town, and they might be able to get that mower in yet this year, but they're not certain. So
Okay,
that's kind of where we're at on it.
okay. All right, you can be excused, Roger, we can discuss this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Is that your jacket?
Have a good night, Roger.
Everything goes well.
Thank you. All right, so, I don't know, what kind of mower do we have right now? Does anybody know?
I think it was
Was that
at
a
Husqvarna.
Husqvarna?
Or Husqvarna.
No,
I don't remember. I think it was originally bought from
Aaron's?
Country Sports. I
I think that'd be Aaron's then if it was Country Sports. Well,
I
it
don't
could be
remember.
Husqvarna as well.
but
I
yeah,
thought it was red.
it's red.
Okay.
It's a red mower.
I mean, well, then that tells me it's Aaron's, because isn't Husqvarna orange?
I thought Aaron's was too though, so.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
they're both there.
All right. Anyway,
It is old. I mean, it's
what we
been-
have is
We had an
old.
old Honda that was red. Country Sports?
I'd have to look at the label.
But-
But okay.
I have no idea.
My feeling is that, and this is totally just my feeling, it's still running and it's still mowing the lawn and it's fall. So I don't see us using it anymore this year. I'm kind of thinking we should wait, but, anybody else have anything they wanna say?
Well, I did go out and get some
Oh,
quotes
that's
from John Deere as well. I don't know if you wanna. There's 4 different quotes there actually for different models.
Did anybody go to American right here around the corner?
We haven't, no.
Doug? Isn't that Doug, right? Is that Bush?
I've had my, I've had my lawnmower repaired there 3 times this year and none of them work.
The reason I went to John Deere, Reichner and Schnell, they've got governmental contracts that they go through, that are pre-negotiated. We can get, on this equipment here, we can automatically get 18% off of any, like, residential style mower. That being said, I'm not sure this is the right time to be buying one. It is a 4-year warranty on all the machines, so it's a plus on that, but
That's better than the one that he got,
yeah.
1 year or 3 years.
And the first 2 pages, the first one is a little smaller mower, 42-inch, but it's got a bagger with it. The second sheet is a larger mower, a 390 instead of a 350. It's got a 48-inch deck on it. No bagger on that one though. Once you get above a 42-inch, you gotta put some special
Power pack.
power pack to it, and that adds a bunch of money. So, it was kind of whether we go with or without that. And then the 2 behind it are basically the same models, but only with a 4-wheel steer. When I talked to the salesman there, he did not suggest going with a 0 turn, being that the the ditch over by the highway needs to be mowed, you know, and getting up some of those angles, and from what he was talking with us, he said we'd get a better cut out of it, just a regular, like regular right, so.
I actually have this X390. I just bought it 2 years ago. I really like mine, but I know that if we do have to add a bagger, it's $2,000.
Do we currently
Everything with
use a
John
bagger
Deere
at
is
all?
more. What was that?
Do we use a bagger now at all? I guess,
Around here.
Do
Not
we?
the rest of it, but around here because of the sprinkler system.
okay.
Otherwise, you'd be raking it if you don't mow it 3 times a week.
Okay, that's something we gotta consider. I guess the point is, do we wanna get one right now, or do we wanna wait till spring and just make sure we put money aside in the budget and wait until this one dies? Brian, what do you think?
What's the price gonna do?
It's gonna
He
go,
did say that, when I talked to him, he said prices generally go up in November. If we were going to purchase this fall, it should be. Otherwise, prices generally in the past, it's always been November has been when they get their next year's pricing.
and the warranty starts when you take delivery, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think Roger mentioned that
No.
he could postpone the warranty on this.
Now, there's something goofy on here, though. We would have to put that through a private person, so on here it says it'd have to go through either Caston or Paulette's name to get that 3-year warranty. If we put it through the town's name, we only get a 1-year warranty.
Oh, because then it's considered a commercial use versus a residential
Right.
use. Oh, but
So,
that's just
that's
not
tying
good
it-
practice.
right, that's tying it to a certain person.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the best policy to use for that.
So is this strictly used for just mowing grass?
Yes.
Do we need to go with the X350 series? Or higher 390 series?
the X350 and the X390 are lawn tractors.
Unless if something changed, mine's nowhere near that big. at home.
Oh, you got your, okay.
You got a 100 series?
I have like the 100 series.
Yeah.
If it's just for mowing,
Well,
what increases on that?
what you increase going from the 100 to the 300 is generally just build quality on it, so the front axles get a lot stronger on them. Usually you go from like a Briggs and Stratton engine to usually
I don't know what,
whatever John Deere puts in the, you know, their little
Forward.
heavier
Okay.
range engine.
So that's just the step, the 100 series up to the three.
Yeah.
three-
Yeah.
Right, that's getting to a little bit stronger series, not
Well, that would.
quite so residential, it's,
Most of it, a lot of it is, your horsepower and your deck size.
yeah, well, and this, I believe the 350 has a 24 horse engine in it. I mean, we could look up the,
I think before we start talking tractors, are we even considering getting one this year? Or should we wait, or what are your feelings on that? Maybe take it one step at a time.
Well, we definitely don't need it this year, and I don't wanna buy one if it's just gonna sit over the winter with the warranty going on it.
well, as far as those discounts, that's the program. And that kind of shows, that'll show you the discounts in there, that they'll all get renegotiated next year, but theoretically they'll be similar. So as a municipality, we should be able to get a fairly steep or significant discount. And we could look at other options too.
I was gonna say.
Not just John Deere, there are other
We have
options.
John
but-
Deere and a Toro, I mean, we do have
And
other
if-
companies
If this,
around here.
yeah, if this American.
Country Sports, American, I mean, we can check to see if they do anything for us also.
Yeah,
Well, and I know he checked and it didn't seem like they were willing to, basically, they were willing to give us this year's price on that Toro. That's about it.
and it wasn't in stock. I mean, from what Roger has on his paperwork.
So, Yeah, but there are other companies around, other companies are a part of those same programs, so that's just, you know, when I heard we were doing something with lawnmowers, I've dealt with other towns that have used those programs, I figured, well, at least let's get something else out there to see what's out there. And I'm not sure we need to be making any decision myself.
I don't think so. either.
Well, then,
Okay, let's
make a
table.
motion to table this then, or I guess,
Yep, I'm okay with that. Motion to table. You all right with that?
Yep.
Okay, me too. We're gonna table this to a later date. Spring. Spring when when we have to buy it, we'll just put it on our wish list for the
Yeah.
for the purchase. Okay, address tiles for mobile home parks. I think that was put on here to deal with, what are we gonna do with the old mobile home parks that are not,
as part of that mobile home ordinance, do they not have to follow that?
Well,
they do not, it's not grandfatherable.
and the previous board too did approve, to, using some type of address tile, reflective tile. I was just supposed to look into it, which I did, and provided with how much it would cost, but that was for a normal size one.
Yeah, but it's up to the park to address them inside the park, it's not for us to do.
Is there anything we
Well,
can
but
do
they,
to make something like that
you know, the pre-
retroactive?
We're asking you, did they put money aside or just have you check into it?
well, there was ARPA funds, so they had me look into it to see how much it would cost.
And,
I provided them the information and it didn't go any further.
okay,
How many mobile home units in parks do we have?
Well,
Do we
we
know
have
that?
We have 5
29 out
parks.
here, minus a couple when the empty spots are, but there's 29 lots. 50, no, I think,
the two worst would be this
60.
one down here and then.
they got the double wide stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's only 3 or 4 down here now, but we got 5 parks
So
and 2 on 7.
we'd have to figure out how many mobile homes we would have, and then we would still have to go through the owner.
So we're talking somewhere between 100 and 150.
I would think 100 is gonna be really close. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but you got, let's get, say 60
60
there.
there,
and
30 there, 90.
that's-
Oh, yeah.
That's 90 right there, so
Yeah.
you add.
so I would say 115, 120 at the max.
Okay.
You know, we were talking at one point, you know, they have the reflective stickers too.
Yeah.
Where it could go, maybe go over the top of what's existing, the number on there. You know? I mean, I can't imagine it.
Where are you thinking, on a post in front of their mobile home or actually on their mobile home?
Well, Mike Zerflu was very receptive to this and was wondering,
was.
very, very receptive to it.
Okay,
I mean, that's an elderly community right there that the ambulance gets called into there
Okay.
often. So, in their numbering system, he was wondering if, you know, there was a better way to number the mobile homes because they are kind of goofy, how it's numbered in there.
wouldn't you number the lot? And,
Well, yeah, but the house is on the lot that it's, yeah, initially the lot is numbered, but as the house came in, it.
got a different number.
No, it had the number of that lot.
Okay.
That's the way I ran it anyway.
Yeah, and I talked, to the EMS at one point about it, or Kathy, I should say, I think we discussed it. Didn't have any ideas as far as how
How?
they did it, as long as they were labeled. You know, it is so hard to see in there in the dark. And the question too was, do you put a post out front or do you put it on the mobile home? Well, it could be a matter of if it's on the mobile home, cause EG is not gonna do it. But if they had like the fluorescent stickers.
Yeah.
You could give it to them or to the park and,
Cause forgive me if I'm wrong, they already have stickers on their trailers in Perco.
like, regular, just numbers,
Just
yes.
numbered, so I don't think they'd be opposed to just getting reflective ones to put over the top of those.
I agree. I mean, they want,
Okay, but if we provide them, what makes it that they will actually put them on?
Well, if we turn them over to Mike Zerflu.
Yeah,
So we're just talking about the one park though? Are you-
No, all the parks.
Right.
I've sent out emails to all of them, but I didn't get responses back from all of them, which is not unusual.
Is there
No,
any
but-
way we could make this a requirement for current parks?
Well, I
Go
think,
through an ordinance process and make it requirements for the current ones?
and remember, I did send out an email to these mobile homes already saying the board has said that they were gonna cover this, and where would you like it? They would like to know, would you like it on the mobile homes or on the posts?
Well, even if we cover it the first time, we still have to have an ordinance in effect, because if they decide to take them off.
I
Don't
agree.
need
we
something.
have an ordinance in effect?
She just has one, she
We
just did it.
yeah,
approved
but that's not grandfathered.
That doesn't affect the
Yeah,
parks that are
it's-
already in
starts-
place.
Yeah. And I'm not.
But it should be if we have the stickers put on there, if they get a
Then they're all in
trailer
compliance right
in
away.
there,
Right.
Then from that point on,
They
then,
should have to,
The thing is,
Right.
how do they number them or letter them? It almost has to be with a site plan, and it has to be attached to each of them, the little lots in that park, so they're consistent. So no matter what unit comes into that parcel, it's gonna be that number.
With Zerflu's, now that he added, was there 3 or 4 double wides? 4?
I thought two.
4 double wides in the front or just 3? But whatever.
yeah,
But when you take what he had there originally, now if you go into the park, you're gonna hang to the south, take the road
Yeah.
to the right. Now, are they numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, similar to that, or is it 1, 2, 3, 8, 10,
So the
12?
even numbers on the
You know,
right. and
how is that numbered? That's probably the confusing part of anybody that goes
Right,
in there,
that's what
a
I-
mailman or you and I or
Yeah.
anybody.
and I,
But,
well, I can tell you that like the campground, they give a map to first responders, sheriff's department with their park.
Yes,
So then as we're on our way there, we can,
yes, and that's
See
what
it where it's
that's
at.
what I'm thinking, it should be the same way.
well, we have one for the parks, you know, but, it-
Labeled with lot numbers?
yeah. But it's not that easy when you're on a call and you're,
oh, definitely, it'd
You
be a
know,
lot easier to
that's
have a
not-
reflective sticker, say, cause that map will get you in the right area, and then you can, stickers will tell you where to go.
mhm.
Okay, so we're gonna have to come up with something, that will work. I don't know, meeting with the two big park owners would probably be most effective. The smaller ones, apparently
The two smaller ones on 73, on the other side of 13, all have stickers in it. They're black, so I think if we buy them
reflective ones.
stickers, I think that'll, I don't know why they'd be opposed to it.
I don't think anybody would.
BJ, do you remember our numbers in the park were just, like a house number, a
Right.
3-inch,
Right,
black 3-inch that we tacked on to the house.
I remember
And,
that.
so each one, as they came in,
Mhm.
got a house number,
Mm-hmm.
but, or lot number, whatever you wanted to call it, but, I don't remember.
I've lived in a
I
mobile
think I
home
even
for many years
furnished-
of my life, and I can't imagine anyone not